Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if I'm live yet. Here we go. Awesome. I am live. No one here at the moment, I believe. Okay. Okay. Okay, might get started. Good evening. Oh, good evening, Tracy. Good to see that you're here. Well done. All right, so I really am not anticipating too many people joining in tonight with the Matildas happening and all that kind of thing. But, of course, I wanted to keep the process of Watch Me Work Wednesdays. And so we can always rewatch the video another day. So let's hope the Matildas do well. That's another reason why I wanted to do the live, is because I have not been watching any of the games live because I feel like I'm bad luck. So I definitely did not want to watch tonight, so I'll watch it another time. But anyway, welcome to everyone who will be joining us tonight. And my name is Linda, and I'm from Inspired Art Journaling, and I welcome you tonight. And so this will just be, hi Pat, welcome darling. So this will just be hopefully a quick and easy art journal page, and so let's sort of get started. Before we do pop into tonight's project, I would like to just do a bit of a shameless plug here. At the moment, I'm advertising this art journal page. Just make sure I get that in there. This is the art journal page that I'll be doing live this Friday night. And so I just wanted to show you very quickly. It really is quite an easy one. You get all of these elements in the kit that I send you. For the kit costs $21. There is some other things that you need, and so a lot of it you'll get in the pack. This part here was just a page that I had done on the gel plate. But you don't need to do that on the gel plate, and I will show people on Friday night that you can just quite easily just create a page with just doing a paint and brush. So you don't need the gel plate. It was just that I had done a piece of some backgrounds on the gel plate, and I just thought, oh, this one matched in quite nicely, so I did the stenciling over the top. But anyway, I thought I would just pop in and just show you, and if you're interested, you'll have forever access. You obviously at this stage won't get the kit before Friday night unless you're in Brisbane and pick it up, but it will be posted to you, and you can always rewatch and do it at your own leisure when you get your kit eventually. But anyway, I just thought I would pop in and just remind everyone about that. Okay, so thank you for listening. So I'll just move this out the way. So primarily I'll be using this cutout sheet. These are some lovely little cutout sheets that 3/4 Designs put out with their collection, so it's just a little added extra. And because I don't always purchase the paper collections, because I'm not a scrapbooker, I'm a mixed media artist, and so whilst I do like to play with paper, buying a full collection, well, you know, with 12 sheets or whatever it is in the collection, is too much for me, because I'm not a real scrapbooker as such. But I do love playing with paper elements, and so I quite often, oh gosh, the cats and dogs are having a fight outside. So my apologies. Go. Oh, there's a cat being chased through my yard by the sounds of it. Anyway, that's by the by. Yeah, so I do like playing with these sorts of things. So this one I have had in my stash for a little while. So I thought I would have a crack at this one. But to save time, I have actually cut it out because no one really wants to watch me cut everything out. So I have actually cut all the pieces out to make it that little bit quicker. I also do have a few of these papers in stock, so I will, after I've done tonight, I'll make up a little kit, so you might be able to purchase the kit if you like what you see and you want to carry on and do it yourself. So just keep a lookout on Be Inspired Facebook, and I'll have an announcement there. I don't know if a lot of you know that I have a website called Your Creative Palette. My background is in mixed media art, and so before COVID I actually had a big studio where I used to hold lots of painting sessions, and but obviously I had to close it down in 2020 because, well, we didn't know what was going on. Hi, Shell. And so anyway, so I've got the little studio in my backyard now, so it's much smaller, but I still have the website, and I still hold art journal workshops, etc., mixed media if people want it, and I also do these paint and sip sessions as well. But anyway, let's move on and let's get started on this. So because I'm doing this, I just want it to be sort of easy. And again, I don't know if you saw a live I did the other night, but I have pulled out this little booklet, this little handmade journal that I made at the Natalie May retreat this year. And I thought, now's the time I need to get in here and start using it. So I have pulled out one of the pages from this booklet. Hi, Susan. Welcome, darling. And so I have pre-gessoed this page here. So I'm just going to be using this page. And so I'll just pop that aside, put that right at the back so it doesn't get wrecked. All right. So I've pre-gessoed, so I'll do a little bit to the background there. And like I said, I've already cut out those bits, so that will save a bit of time as well. I shall get my... Whoops. And of course this stencil keeps popping up like it's seems to be my favourite at the moment, just because I'm doing a lot of things with butterflies at the moment, so it's one that never sort of gets put away because I'm always turning back into it again. So I thought I would use it again, and I don't know if anyone else is the same as me. Do you fall into a habit where you keep using the same stencils all the time, or what? Anyway, that's by the by. I've also got a little chipboard piece here too that I got this from Minte a few weeks in July when Natalie May was up in Brisbane, and I may use that as a bit of depth in the background. I won't keep it that colour, I don't think, but I may even emboss it. Anyway, I'll put that aside. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Hello, Leslie. And we'll see how we go. Now, I'm going to be using a little bit of embossing powder. And so to start off the background, I'm going to use my stencil. And I'm going to put, because this is the biggest piece from that cut apart sheet, so that's, it's going to kind of sit in there somewhere like that. So there's not a lot of room around here, so I'm not going to cover the whole thing with embossing, but I'm certainly going to do a couple of inches around the border there so that it can be utilised. So I have my, somewhere here I have my, and I'll just grab, Whoops, I meant to do that before. My apologies. I'll grab a new one of these. I usually have a dedicated blender for the embossing. Because I do so much embossing like this, I tend to have this blending brush solely for the purpose of doing embossing. So I'm just going to tap, and hopefully it'll go through. Just going to tap a little bit around the edges there. I'll take it down. I'm not being too precious about it. I just really want a bit of coverage. I'll take it down there. I'm trying to, you won't be able to see it, but I am trying to line up the butterflies a bit. And I'll take that down to there. So you can't see this because it's clear, but I've lined that up just so that it goes right round. And like I said, I'm not going to be using, covering the whole background of this page because it's not necessary. But I'm just going to add a bit around there, and hopefully it can be just a bit tricky trying to find where the butterfly is. There we go. Oop. There we go. And the last bit around here. Alright, so I won't even bring it up because there's no way in the world you're going to see that because it is, just ignore that ding ding you can hear. That's our front doorbell. My hubby's out putting the bin out tonight by the sounds of it. Okay, so I've got that part. Now I like to put that down because I'm so messy. Do I have a sheet here? Yes. Actually, I'll get a new sheet. Maybe I won't get a new sheet. Just excuse me for a minute. Sorry, guys. I forgot that I put embossing powder all over the last sheet. So I usually just use one of these. Hi, Robin. We've only just started, darling, so you're not too late at all. So I'm just going to leave that like that. Tonight I'm going to be using what's called Snowflake. It's a white embossing powder with a lot of silver in it. So I'm using that at the moment. I might have to do this in 2 stages, see how we go. Okay, I'll just put that aside for a minute, just wipe that off. Okay, a lot of silver in some of that, but anyway, that's alright. And then just go back over here and do some of this. Look, I'm not afraid to use my embossing powder because, oh gosh, except when I throw it all over the place. The jars that you get are quite a lot of product in them, so I'm not afraid to use it. And I always love using them on backgrounds. Just excuse me, I'm off camera here trying to clean off all of the embossing powder I threw over the desk. I'll just put that in there. Put that back. Because these pots, they will last you a long time. So don't be afraid to think you're using too much because you can't take it with you. So you might as well use it now. The only problem is with these non-stick mats, I can't get rid of it, but anyway, that's okay. All right, so I might just bring that back up again because I want to heat it. So I'm going to heat this. It'll take a little while because it's quite a lot, but anyway, And so is anyone playing along tonight, or you're watching the game? I don't even know what time the game starts tonight, so I'm so out of it, I'm not quite sure what's happening. But I prefer to watch the rerun because I feel like I'm bad luck. So it takes a while for it to heat up. Now it's starting to really... See if I can put that up there for you to see a little bit. So the grey bits that you can see are the silver glitter. So there is quite a bit there. But that's okay too. Sometimes when I'm doing this a lot too, I tend to like to put a fan on because, you know, I'm sure it's not really good to have these sorts of things too close to you. And Susan says she can't watch it because it's too stressful. You know, no, I agree with you on that. I'd rather watch it another time when I know the hype's over by then, but you know, I'll watch all of the bits that I need to see. I just hope for their sake that they do okay tonight. Alright, so it looks like we're pretty done there. So I shall just hold that up a little bit. Hopefully you can sort of see some of the shimmer there, but there it is in behind there. So it's just around the outside of the edge because remember that's going to be covering most of it. So it's all looking good there, okay? So what I'm going to do now is get rid of that for the minute. I'm going to bring this back. What I might do is I'll put a little bit of tape down the side here because I'm going to flood this page with a bit of Lindy's. So I just want to put a bit of masking tape there just to try and help stop the bleeding coming through from the Lindy's and the water. I might get a couple more bits of, let's do that, okay. All right, so I'm thinking, so we've got this beautiful colour, so we'll bring the girl up too. So she's got pinks and she's got a bit of apricots on her as well. So I'm thinking I might go, I've got my Lindy's, I've got the tea and crumpet set out. In a way, this could be a bit dangerous because I feel I gravitate to this now all the time. It's got, even though it's got beautiful colours, but because it's convenient, and so I think I'm sort of neglecting all the others, but they've got a nice range of colours in here, and they will be perfect for what we're doing tonight. So I'll just move that out the side a little bit, grab a little, and let's move this out the way. Quite like it. It's got the little shaker part, which I have used, you know, when you're doing sprinkle and spritz, I have used it, but I tend to most days, oh, that one was open. All right. So if you're not familiar with Lindy's, or if you don't have many sort of Lindy's, or I'm sure there's other products out on the market as well, very similar. But I like the Lindy's because, particularly like with this set here, they have lots of glitter. Some of them are flat, so if you don't want that glittery shade. But, you know, doing this kind of technique, if you don't have Lindy's or these kinds of powders, you could do this technique that I'm doing with watercolours, sorry. Yeah, so, you know, don't be worried if you haven't got the product that I'm using. Okay, so I shall, use this one here. So I'm just going to, got Lindy's powder all over the place here. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a mix up. I just want to add a little bit of colour to the background, mostly so you can also see the pattern on the stencil, because at the moment you can't see it very much at all. So you can see here I deliberately put a lot of water in this one so that it's fairly light, and so you can see not as intense as you can make it, but that's exactly what I want, because I just want a little bit of subtlety here. So I'll just put that aside, and I might just get myself into a good position here. Alright, so I might start off with the yellowy one, which is now gone orange, but that's okay. So I'm just going to, the only problem with this paper keeps curling up. Now the other night when I used this paper, I actually gessoed the back and it made it sit quite flat. So that's a bit of a tip if you're having the same sort of issue. Now I'm just randomly just adding the colour on here. Like I say, I don't want it to be too strong, so I'm happy for it to be subtle. It's just to allow that stencil to come through a little bit. So we'll grab some of the pinky colour. And when it's dry, it'll really, you'll see the butterflies, because that's what I think what I like about this stencil is that when you use it with Lindy's or watercolours, it all sits, most of the colour sits inside the butterfly, and I think that's what I like about it. I'll take that in there only because I've got leftovers there. So I'm going to just let this sort of dry off a little bit on its own accord. I don't mind if the colours sort of mix in there, because it's going to come out an orangey sort of colour, which is fine because she's got apricot on her dress. Okay, so I'm just going to put this towards the back to let it dry. I'll bring it up so you can sort of see how it's pooling a little bit there. I'm sure by now a lot of you are familiar with this kind of product. You know, I'll keep an eye on it because I can always dry off some of that, you know, the excess water there. But just for the moment, I want to allow some of that water colour to seep into the pattern. So I'll just put it at the back. Okay, and leave that there for a little bit. Grab a wet one and try and clean off this desk a little bit. I just want to get rid of some of this glitter and these there. Okay, now let's have a look. I'll wipe that. Right. Make sure it's not wet, too damp. Okay, damn dogs. The dog's going to drive me crazy. The dog and the cat are both neighbours. They're not my dog or cat, but they're just going nuts tonight. All right, okay, so let's grab... I do want to distress it a little bit, so I shall... I think I've got my brush under here somewhere. I have my distressing brush. I'll use this. All right. You love the lady, yeah, she's cute. Yeah, look, I've had, like I say, I've had these for a while, and I cut them out so that I can do them one day. So you'll notice that I haven't cut around her hair properly. I'll do that tonight because I tend to leave those sorts of things until I'm ready to use it, because otherwise I'll end up breaking it, ripping it off. So I'm just going to distress around the edges a little bit. I'm using black. You know, it might have been nice to use a burgundy stamp pad or something like that, but I'll leave that up to you. And I just think these are nice little things to do. I won't do that one just yet because I need to cut that. I'll add a little bit to this one too. So, I mean, there's not a lot to do with these. It's just a matter of layering. And look, I'll have to be honest with you. I don't feel as confident with the layering as I see some ladies do. But this is what, you know, I figure by forcing myself to do it is the only way I'm going to get better at it. And if that's the only thing that you take out of tonight, is, you know, sometimes you just got to push yourself out of your comfort zone and have a go. Because, you know, I see some work out there and, oh man, I'm absolutely in awe of how they can just put these things together. But like I say, I'm not a scrapbooking person, so, you know, I'm behind the 8 ball as far as that kind of thing goes. And I think what they do is just an extension of this kind of thing. So I'm just going around all of the bits that I've got there, just to add a little bit of a borderer on it, because I feel this adds just adds a bit of depth to what you're doing, and sometimes it helps to separate the different elements on the page. And I try not to overdo it, because I think you can overdo it. So and I think it sometimes helps for hiding some of those bits that you may not have cut out as well as you probably should have. Same with the antennas. I usually leave a V there and chop it off when I'm ready to glue down. On this guy too, I haven't cut him out much, but that's okay. Oh yeah, that's been done. It's this one that hasn't been done. All right, now my lady, I am going to cut her out now. Cut out that hair. Look, you don't have to do this. I'm just being pedantic, so you cut out what you feel is right. I mean, you could cut those little bits off. Do you have to have them? No, I don't think they have to be there, but if you don't want to cut them off. If you don't want to fiddle with them. Now, I know you think I'm going to be really pedantic, but I have to cut off under her arms as well. So I'll get my craft knife. Cardinal sin of putting my finger where the knife is. I shouldn't do that. So there you go. That's a me thing. I wouldn't be able to stand having that white piece showing through. Okay, so also what I have brought out too. Oh, haven't done that one, I don't think. And I haven't done her, have I? Sorry, just bear with me for a sec. Very lightly when I'm doing it on people. Not going to worry too much around there. So I will distress some of these bits later. It's just that I know I have to cut them down to suit. I just roughly cut them out before. Yeah, so like I was saying before, I did pull out a couple of serviettes, doilies. I think I will colour them, maybe just colour one. So because I've got this left over, I might, yeah, wouldn't we all like to be able to slim her? Robin says she'd like to slim her arms down like that. Wouldn't it be wonderful if it was that easy? Absolutely. And look, so I'm just using the leftovers here. I was just thinking of this as an element for layering. So, you know, how it's going to work. And what I could do, because I feel like I'm run out of, what I'm going to do is, I'll show you this bit of a sprinkle, because it's a very subtle, I'll probably use too much. Sprinkle and spritz. So that means I'll get a lot more colour coming out on that by doing that. I'll just bring this up. So there's all sorts of colours intermingling in there, and yes, so we'll let that dry off. And so that could be used as just adding another little bit of a layer for texture and that kind of thing. So we'll put that aside to let it dry out too. Up there, all right. So while we're waiting, I will be doing another little bit on this one. This one's going to be a little bit different. Some of you probably have seen me do this before, but you saw how before I put the stencil down, I put the embossing ink down first, the ink pad. So I put that down, and then well, I put it through the stencil, sorry, is what I mean to say. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the opposite. Now, I have done this before, but I just want to put a little bit here and, you know, maybe here and down the side there, you know, around the edges. So not over the whole thing, but it will be a different effect to what the bottom layer is. So I want the same but different, if you get my drift. So what I do with this is get my stamp pad, leave it at that. Okay. Now, what I will do is I'll grab this and grab my paper. What have I done with my paper? What did I do with it? I folded it up over here. Oh, sorry, I stuck it at the back there. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do is I need to act quickly. So I hit this, I've put the ink down. Now I'm just going to smother this whole thing in embossing powder. Okay, so the whole thing is now covered in embossing powder. This glittery stuff is so messy. Put that on there. Now what I will do, and this is where I get in here, and is that going to, I'll do this top part here first. So I'm going to put that up there. Grab a couple of baby wipes. Now I'm going to press down. I'm going to rub off the embossing powder so that all I'm left with is a little bit of design underneath. And I don't know if you can see that up there, but I've wiped most of that off, so there's just a little bit there. So it's going to be the opposite to what we've done before. So I'm just going to activate it now. And you'll see it's the opposite. So this time the butterflies are going to be glittery, whereas on the other one that I did, the background is glittery. So it's a way of adding some elements, the same elements but in different ways. We don't always have to do it the same way. As soon as I've got a section, I'll show you. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll just wait for the camera to catch up. Okay, I'll just... So you can see there the butterfly is now all glittery. And because I've rubbed off, it's not a perfect print, but I don't want that. Okay, that's not what I'm about with this tonight. It's just a matter of a way of doing another layer. It's just getting a bit hot, so I'll show you when I'm finished. Shouldn't have that there. Just put that in the water. Okay. So I'll bring that up a bit. Just waiting for the camera to catch up. Alright, so you can see it's mostly sort of over here. It's just a hint of it over on this side, and there's just a little bit down the bottom. Okay, I mean, I could go over that again if I wanted to, but I really wanted some subtlety with this. The fact that I've got it a lot in one section, that I'm okay with that. And yeah, so that is another way of doing some embossing particularly in your backgrounds, for just a slightly different effect. So let's put all these lids on, get all this stuff. I love these extra fine powders and glitters and that. Oh gosh, they're messy. All right. Okay. Okay, so, yep, Robin, yes, I agree. It is an awesome technique. It's one that I really love doing. Okay, so I think what I better do is, I haven't quite finished off my dragonfly here. Now, of course, you could have changed I didn't have to use the butterfly. It's just that it's handy here. I could have looked to see if I had a dragonfly one. I'm sure I've got something there with a dragonfly on it. But I just was running out of time this afternoon. I just didn't have time to have a look. But this will do me. It's still insects. Take that off. Okay, that'll do nicely. And I think there was a butterfly. I'll just chop that off. I actually leave a little bit of white around it. I don't chop it off too close, because it's either that or I'm going to actually get rid of it altogether. So I've got the hole up here at the top. I might just, no, mine's that big. Oh yeah, there you go. I've just put the hole at the top just in case I wanted to. Alright, so let's have a look. And this is where you just start playing. You know, I'll need to get my book back to see what I'm doing. And this is, you know, where you can overthink it, you know, so you just start laying things down. And I guess when you actually adhere them on, I think it's best to not glue it all down, just glue a little bit so you can still poke things in, because I'm not sure how my doily is going at the moment, so I might be poking that in the side there later on. I will get my other scissors. Oh, I'll get these ones. I just want to cut right up against that. Because as you might remember, I don't have a lot of room around the outside of this. So I'll just play around with this for a little bit, and then we'll check out how the oh, that is it. We'll check out how the background's going. So I've done that. Now this one, I want this to go on the back. It's almost the same colour green. So what I'm going to do is just glue that onto there and then trim that down. So I'll get my trusty glue out now. And again, I'm not necessarily going to glue it all the way. I'm not going to glue anything at the moment. Oops. Bring it up here. Sorry. I'm going to glue it about in here. Okay? Just in case I want to tuck something else in as well. So I'll line that up just so it's a few millimeters on those two sides. I'll line that up, and then I can trim. Hold that for a few seconds, and then I shall trim the edge. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. I can stick it down better later on if I wish. And just dirty up the edges. Awesome. Okay. Wherever life plants you bloom. You know, so you want bits sort of poking off the page everywhere. So I'll just do a little bit of playing here. That's the title. We don't need that. And of course, we need to decide where our girl's going. Maybe these flowers. I wonder if I can do that, because I don't want. I like the raggedy edges on her dress. Because if you stick it over it, it's not as nice. I think I'll probably end up doing something like that. And then we'll layer off the leaves. Just add a couple more leaves, but anyway. This is where, you know, I'm trying very hard to learn how to do some of this layering. There's probably a lot of you ladies out there who would be doing a far better job than me. But I'm having a go. And that's the whole purpose, is to have a go. So some of these I'll tuck down in the back there. Again, don't forget I've got that doily, and I might even have him sort of coming down like that, you know. So I mean, that's a basic way of doing it. Whether it'll stay like that with the butterfly on there somewhere. Okay, so all right, yep. And then I've got another flower there I can add in too. So let's just put that to the side a bit and see what's happening over here. First of all, I might have a look at this doily and get that dried off. So it's still quite wet because obviously... Oh, thank you. Oh, hi, Naomi. Yes, and thank you, Leslie. Yes, I'll see how I go. No, I'll be putting layers on that as well. So, you know, I'll be using foam tape, etc. So I'm going to dry this off, guys. So now's the time to, oh, excuse me, get yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine. So it might just take a little bit of drying time. So is anyone creating along tonight, or are you just having a relax, a wind down? Because us in Brisbane today had a public holiday, so we've had a lazy day today. Now that's kind of dry. I'll bring it up. There's not a lot of colour because I did dab it off a bit, but it's actually got quite a shine. You probably won't see that. I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, you won't see the shine, but at least it's got a little bit of colour now. So, you know, I'll probably end up chopping that in half and using it in couple of different places. So we'll put him aside. Now we'll bring out this paper. It's got a lot of so what I shall do is slightly dab that off, just so that it's easy. Oh my goodness me. Have a look at that. Okay. Okay. Well, bon appetit. Susan's just about to have her dinner. So can you see that beautiful colour there? It's just so subtle. And that's all I was wanting because, you know, I mean, here we go. Let's just throw the girl on top of there. So, you know, it's not out of the realms of, so, you know, by the time we put all this other colour on top of that, I think it's going to look quite gorgeous. So, again, just let me dry this off and we'll start collating it all together. But can you see how, yeah, thank you, Susan, it is pretty. Can you see how the Lindy's has gone into the butterflies? So the butterflies are all pink, whereas, where's my other bit? Yeah. So let's have a look at this here. So we've got the opposites for both of them. So on the background you've got the pink butterflies, okay, and the embossing is the main part of the background, whereas here the butterflies are the embossed element. And so, you know, opposites attract, hey? And so I think it's quite a nice effect. So it ties them together without being too obvious. Just drying off the back, and yeah, so I think it, you know, it'll come along okay. Okay, I'm going to let that cool down a little bit. I might even take that off, because I think it's distracting from the beautiful page that we have here. All right. Okay. So like I was saying, let's just put that on top of there. You know, like I was saying before, I may even tuck a little a flower in underneath there as well, so that it's poking out. And then, of course, you know, I was thinking of having the dragonfly, what is it? Yeah, dragonfly up there somewhere like that. So you can see it's going to build up nicely. Yes, Shell's saying they look great, contrasting, and it's true. It makes your eye have a look at it and think, oh yeah, they do blend. They're different, but they're the same. All right, so this paper that keeps curling up is really, guys, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to very quickly gesso the back of that because it's driving me nuts. And if I gesso it and dry it off, hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean. Because we compromised the integrity of the paper on the other side, just got to be careful you don't get gesso on your good page though. It is making it all curl up. But if we also do a treatment to this side, it should flatten out a bit. I'm not being too fussy because when I go to use that page, I'll put another coat on and do it better. I'm just trying to get it to cover so that it will untangle itself. But just be careful that you don't get gesso all over your main page. Okay, right, so can you see now how that has flattened out? So if that's the only thing you learned tonight, I think I've done my job, because to me that is a big godsend, because you can't glue anything on when it's all curling up. So do keep that in mind. If you're working on one page and the other side is not doing, because this is probably not quite as thick as some of the papers that you might be using, always do even if it's a clear coat, just a coat of gesso over the back, or it could be paint. It doesn't have to be gesso, but it just has to be something because you've got some product on this side. So there you go. It's all nice and flat now. Okay, so we'll just start putting that down, and on their own it does look quite so you can see that's got a little bit of colour that blends in with these sort of things there. So I don't know what I'm doing with that yet, but we'll put this I will centre that. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just put only the tiniest little bit. Okay, yep, the game's about to start, so yep, that's okay. If you need to go and watch it, I totally understand. And of course, you know that this is going to be, this recording will be here when you get back. Not a problem at all. Enjoy the game. Okay, so I'm only just doing that down the bottom there, underneath, just in the middle there, just to hold it on the page. And then so I can start sort of working out what I want to do here. She will definitely have some foam tape behind her to lift her off the page, and I guess I am wanting to do something like that there. I will do that there. So does that mean that she sort of sits there like that, maybe, just to help anchor her to the page as well. So I've got my dragonfly here. Now I did mention that I'd probably put, maybe I might put one of those guys there, just as a little bit there, maybe. I do wish I had a couple of extra leaves. I don't feel I've got enough leaves here, but anyway, that's okay. We'll just layer up our flowers. So I'm just layering things down, just putting things down, just to get a bit of an idea of what I've got here. Doesn't necessarily mean it will stay. They're not all going to be flat and glued onto each other. Some will be up, some will be down, some will be doubled up. It just depends on how I feel. I'm just going to cut that in half just to see. I may not use the other half. I don't know. Do I want to? Maybe I might even do something like that to give it a bit of extra texture or something. Squish it down a bit. I don't know what I'm doing here, but that's okay. Do we ever know sometimes? So I'm just going to staple that. Okay, squish that down. I'm making it do things that it's not meant to do, but that's okay. So I shall push that down there like that. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure. We've got our dragonfly. Maybe our dragonfly can perch himself on top of that and have that sort of half hanging off there. Okay, I'll probably do something like that. Does that look all right there? Let's have a look. Let me see what it looks like in the camera. Yeah, something like that maybe. Oh, Maybe I want to put that there. Put that one there because that one's underneath. What's that looking like? Let's have a look. Just wait for the camera to catch up. Okay. Yeah, I may even tuck that in underneath more. I think I'm kind of okay with that. Alright, so normally what I would do is take a photo of, if I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing, I'll take a photo of it so that I can pull it apart and start collating it. But what I know, I'm going to put the dragonfly there, so I'm just going to... Oh, I can't take that, can I? Duh. Just slide that over there a bit. It'll be round about the same. Alright, so my next element I want to do, I do want to put him underneath there. So I will just grab some glue, tuck that in under there, hold that down a little bit. Same with this one, just a little bit in the middle. I only do it in the middle just in case I need to add something later. If I'd have thought about it, I probably would have done some leaf die cuts or something like that. Actually, I'll tell you what I have got. Oh, don't know if I've got any here. Oh, thought I had some, but maybe I don't. Oh yeah, I've got this. Let's see. Got a couple of these babies left over from some ATCs. I don't know if I can use that in anyway. Yeah, actually I might pop that in there. So these are just some of the ATCs I've been doing. I added a couple of die cuts. And I'll just lift that up. Oh, it's stuck to the bottom. Lift that up, put that down there. Okay. That will stick nicely. Do I pop him underneath there? Does he fit in underneath there? What I'll do is chop that a little bit off. So when I'm doing things like, like ATCs and that, where I'm, you're cutting up a few things. So I always like to make sure I've got one or two left over. And I just have a little box here that I just put all this sort of stuff in because it does come in handy. Alright, so I probably will glue that down a bit there because it keeps popping up. Okay. Oh, that flower was going to be on top, so I might just pop that down. Have I glued him on yet? I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on there. Okay, leave him because he's going to be, so I'll put him there like that. What I might do is use a bit of tape on the back of this one. And again, like I say, in the middle, I always leave an edge so that oh guys, just leave a bit of an edge so I can pull that off. Whoops, don't like that. Oh dear. find my pokey tool. Sure, it was here before, so it's fallen on the ground. So I'll put that up there like that. I'll put that close to the edge. Alright, so I can tuck other things in there if need be. Right, so okay, the leaves can go straight down. So, and again, I've just put in the middle. Another leaf there. Hold them down for a couple of bits. She's going over there, and so now this is where I'll either use this or these. So there's two different heights in between these two, so even doing that is going to make them stand out a little bit differently. And I went and stuck that down, and I was going to put another flower there, wasn't I? Anyway, I'm not putting a flower there now, I'm putting a flower up there. Okay, so the bits box, yes, good on you, Shell. You got a bits box too. My bits box gets lots of bits in it. Problem is, every now and then I've got to clean out the bits box. But anyway, yes. But you need a bits box. Absolutely. So let's see. I'm going to lift him up a little bit, and I'll lift him up a bit more. Okay. So I'll just put a couple of these dots because they're very, very low, much lower than the others. And we'll just poke him there. And then this guy, we'll put him, and sometimes if I want to go up higher, I'll double dip. Actually, I'll just put that in the middle there. Because then that way I can overlap it. Oh, get her out the way before I staple her down. And so then now I can tuck that one in underneath there. So we shall just put that in there. Hope it's making sense. Now, what were we going to do? Oh, that's right, I was going to put a butterfly or something. So the butterfly, I might double dot it to bring the butterfly up, but just the dots. Sorry, am I in camera still? Yeah. There we go. Double dotted that. Oh, where did I say I was going to put that? On here somewhere. We'll put it there. Okay, so now that is sticking up above that flower. Keeping in mind, I'll be doing that there somewhere. Not going to see much of that underneath, that's okay. Alright, so I will just put that there. And her, I'm going to little bit on her head. Leave that there. So can you see I've actually overlapped her over that one as well. Beautiful. There we go. Sorry guys, I can't concentrate and talk at the same time, so my apologies. Just had a thought of putting some doily there. Got that down, and so then I've just got this fella here. He's all tucked in underneath there. And so maybe room there. I'll just chop that off a bit, just so I can sneak it up there more. Because I want it, just I've put that so close there, so I want to try and bring that down as much as possible so that you can see it. And oh, hang on a minute. Sorry guys, I just realised. Sorry about that. You'll just hooked my camera in, my phone in, because it was just about to die of power. So sorry about that. Probably could do with something there. I'm not quite sure what now. Or do I put him there? Yeah, I'm going to put him there. Now, because he hasn't got much to him, I'm only going to glue him on because he's a bit hard to attach. So now I can Alright, so what I would do too is go around some of these outlines. Sometimes I just like to outline it myself. So it just looks like, you know, it's my drawing sort of thing. Not that I'm trying to take credit for it, but it just makes the whole thing your own. I'm just going to bring it in a little bit. So look away if you're going to get seasick. Just bring it a tiddly bit more. Just got to wait for it to catch up. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to... Oh, God, I just wrecked that. So I'm just going around the outline. Sorry, I can't do it. Just to make her stand out a little bit. You don't have to do this if you don't feel confident about doing it, because it can be a little bit hard because you've put her on foam tape. She's not as easy to move around. Just going to pop a bit of glue there because it keeps sticking up. So I'm just highlighting some of the bits on her hair. You can do as little or as much as you like, whatever you feel comfortable with. particularly down around the bottom of her dress here. Don't know if you can sort of see. So like I said, I've tried to make this short and sweet, so it will allow you to go and watch the game or do whatever you need to do. But I just like to do these every couple of weeks, and I was sick last time, so I couldn't do it. And I know myself, I love watching other people work, and whether it's a paid or freebie, I just enjoy it because I always learn something, and we all learn, and that's why I think it's important that we do watch other people. And I'm just going around all of the flowers, etc. Just again helps to give them depth. I don't do a lot, just enough to make it stand out a little bit. I won't do much, so you can't see him anyway because he's black and you're still in camera yet. Oh, thank you, Susan. It is good to see other people working and how they operate and how they create, because we all have different ways of doing things, different belief systems and that, and not to say that one's any better or worse than the other or more knowledgeable, but I like to share what I know. I'm not saying that I'm know it all by any means, gosh, no. But I do like to share what I do know. My background is teaching, as most of you know. So, of course, I love teaching. And since we've had to embrace this online concept, which is great, when I was teaching, it was only coming in. I'd love to be teaching now. It'd be great having all that access to lots of technology. And look, the squigglier you do your highlighting, the better. I mean, if you like to have everything perfect and that kind of thing, this is probably, my style is probably not the one you want to look at, because I just like it to look authentic and me. This is how I create. And yours will look a little bit different. And I will now open this up, and now because of the embossing, it's probably not going to work very well. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I just like to put a little bit of an outline on the back. Should put an outline on that too. Poor old pen's starting to wear out. Doesn't like working on the oh, have a look at me, because it was being compromised. I've gone and ripped it. Anyway, that's okay. Just had to change pens because poor old things are giving up the ghost because they just don't like the embossing powder. I think it's just a bit too much for it. They'll come good, they just don't like it tonight. So anyway, right, so now I've got some bits here. I'm just going to put a bit of glue down there because I'm kind of finished now. Make sure there's none seeping out. Okay, so it was just that on the edge there. Oh, hi Jackie. Yeah, thank you, darling. Enjoy your night. Yes, so this is pretty much it, and you know, it's just a great way to do something a little bit different, you know, instead of, because I'm a very painterly art journaler, and you know, I'm so envious of all these wonderful paper artists out there as well. But anyway, I'll get there. And so I quite enjoy doing this, and it's just a nice little different page. But thank you everyone for joining in, and I'll let you go now to go and watch your Matildas if you're interested. I personally won't be, because I don't want to jinx them. I'll tune in later tonight when it's just about all over. Okay, so thank you everyone. I so enjoyed demonstrating these techniques to you tonight. I hope there's something there that you've learnt, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. So thank you everyone, and enjoy. Go with the Matildas. Bye bye everyone. See you.